Hey, it's Dr. Brett here. I'm going to show you guys 4 stretches you can do and 4 strengthening activities you can do if you sit behind a desk and you need some postural help. We get a ton of patients that come in the office. All the problems they start to show up with are things that come from when you sit behind a desk too dang long. So we all know it. You sit behind there, the shoulder goes forward, the head starts to creep forward. You start to lean on one side more than the other. Before you know it, you kind of get this sloth-like crippled up posture that you get through here. So what we're really going to focus on is how do you start opening things up here. So again, we're going to start with 4 things that really work on mobility of your spine, of the top half, and then we're going to work on things in the lower half to help kind of tie this together. So step 1, I like to use a resistance band. You can use a towel as well too. And all we do with this is we're going to put a little bit of tension on the outside. So my hands aren't way out here. They're like one row in here, a little bit wider than my hips. I'm here. I'm going to go up, maintain that tension. I'm going to come back through here. I'm going to come all the way back through this way. If you can't get all the way back, here's fine to start with as well too. But get back through here. From the side, you're going to notice I'm tall through here. I'm going to extend back, get myself partway through, and then all the way back through here. I'm not leaning forward. I'm not extending overly backwards through there, but that's step 1 through there. The next thing we're going to do is a Cobra. A lot of people have kind of seen these before, but I'm going to go down on the ground, on here, your bed, whatever, and all I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to start with hands back, and I'm going to extend myself upright here. So I'm really working. I'm going to reach with my hands. I'm going to extend my shoulders back and bring my head up through here. If that gets easy, you can start to do it out in front of you as well too. The trick is keep your head up. Don't get your head overly extended. Don't get your head tucked too far down. Keep it in a normal posture. So that's a Cobra that you go through there. So that's step 2 on there. Step 3 is just a simple lateral bend. So I'm going to take my one hand, I'm going to put it behind my back, just like this. I'm going to take my other hand, and I'm going to extend myself all the way to one side. I'm going to hold that for about 5 seconds. Back to the middle. I'm going to repeat that 5 times through there. Switch hands. Here's from the front. So I'm just kind of in an athletic stance here. And I'm going to work arm up, tip all the way to the side. And you should feel that through your lower back. You should feel it through the lateral side of your torso, even through your neck just a little bit on there. So the last thing I'm going to work on here is just a simple, what I call like wall sit. So I'm leaned against the wall, my feet are out a little bit. I'm going to flatten my pelvis to the wall to keep myself stable. I'm going to put my hands against the wall. I'm going to keep them just kind of next to the wall here a little bit. I'm going to tuck my chin in. So I'm going to retract my chin, kind of like the double chin motion here. And I'm going to bring my hands up and back down. It's a lot harder than what it looks. I'm going to come clear down. I'm going to come back up on there all the way through this. So I'm going to repeat that again about 10 times. You're going to feel that a lot between the shoulder blades lower here. That's where we want to feel it, because we want to retract the shoulder blades, tuck the pelvis up, and then bring that chin in at the same time. So there's a lot going on there that helps really open things up. So that really focuses, those 4 things focus on the top half. The lower half here, we're going to start down here. A lot of people call it like a cat camel, cat cow, whatever you want to call it. But all I'm simply doing with this is I'm going to extend my spine up, and I'm going to extend it all the way back down and extend my neck back as well too. So I'm up as far as I can go, back down, extend that, open up. This is a great exercise, probably one of the best ones for that discomfort you get between your shoulder blades there. What we're doing there is stretching that tissue, and then we're also opening the disc back up in the thoracic spine to create a little bit more movement and more fluid back, good fluid back in through there. The second thing we're going to do here is just a hip flexor stretch with like a pelvic tuck. So we all get tight hip flexors because we sit too much. When our feet are like this, the hip flexor shortens and it tightens up. And that thing starts to pull on your lower back as it goes clear through your abdomen, ties into your lower back. And that's what yanks your hips around through here, because your glutes aren't doing what they're supposed to do when you're overactive through your hip flexors. So real simple solution to this. 2 ways to do it. One, we can go from the floor through here and just drive those hips forward through there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tuck and engage my hips. So I'm going to flatten my pelvis a little bit through here. And all I'm going to simply do here is just rotate myself the opposite way. So from the front, I'm here, tuck my pelvis under, rotate myself away a little bit with that. Another way to do it is arms above your head, dry the hips, tuck your pelvis, and then I'm just going to sink this shoulder back right here. Just rotate it back just a little bit. and you're gonna feel it pull on that side. So you can do it that way. If you're somewhere else and you don't want to get on the floor, get in that lunge position, same thing. I'm dropping my hips, tuck my pelvis, and you're gonna feel that engage. Same thing, either throw the bucket over the shoulder or arms up, drop the shoulder back just a little bit over here. So real simple with that. Last thing you can do, or excuse me, the third thing we can do on this is what we call a pigeon. You can either go on the floor, or even an easier version of this is just get on a chair with this. You can get your leg back up on here, but you just tuck that knee underneath there, and I'm just gonna drop myself into this. You can hold on to here. If you wanna do it on a flat bench and get further down, you can. The trick with this is, though, is we're trying to get that hip stretched a little bit more. Another way to view it is from the ground. Same thing, I'm tucked here. I can either be here, or I can get myself down on the ground a little bit further on here. Either way, I'm getting that hip to open back up. Real simple exercise. If it's hard to get in that spot because it bothers your knee or really messes with your hip, modified version, foot up on a chair, and I'm going to take myself inside my leg here. So I'm just taking my chest down inside the knee. From this angle, right here, chest down inside the knee, through here. Keep your head up as you go through that. So that's an easy thing to do with that as well too. The last thing we're going to do is a simple glute extension here. This is a great exercise. The only thing we use our rear ends for anymore is we sit on them. We don't use them like we should on stuff, so we're going to work on some glute extension, glute activation. So again, on your back, through here, I'm going to work on first engaging my pelvis. I'm going to tuck my pelvis. I was going to squish my hands. I'm going to squish my hands first, and then all I'll do is just applying pressure through my heels and picking myself up off the floor. I want to get myself vertical here. I'm not overextended. I'm not here. I'm here. And my hips are engaged through here. It's going to be a little uncomfortable because you typically don't use the core and your glutes at the same time. And that's why people have so many back problems through there. So you can repeat that movement right there 5 times for about 5 to 10 seconds a piece. It's on there. So give these 4 upper things and 4 lower things a try. You're going to spend 2 to 3 minutes a day working on them. You can do some of them here or some of them there, or do them all together. You're consistent with that on a daily basis. It's going to help get rid of a lot of that nagging discomfort that you get from sitting. We are a society that gets stuck here. We've got to focus on getting ourselves opened up. It will eliminate a lot of problems down the road. So hopefully that helps.